Hello, friends. Welcome back to another episode of The Talking Mexican. Yes. Let me begin by giving God all the glory through His Son, Jesus Christ. Amen. I recently came into a deeper understanding of and appreciation for why the light of Christ is so important to each of us, and I really want to share that with you today. Simply put, He shows us the way. I often end a writing with the following benediction, if you will permit me. My light is always on so you may find your way. An obvious reference to my porch light, but in reality, I am referring to the light of Christ. The second part of that benediction is this. My door is always open so you may enter and feel welcome. The reason for this benediction is to impart upon the reader that a life without Christ and the light He provides, which illuminates the darkness, is a life spent feeling our way around, never making sense of our surroundings or knowing which path we should walk because we cannot find that path. My first light experience, the day I first experienced the light of Christ, the proverbial porch light, was the day I was getting prepped to undergo surgery. I was a boy somewhere between 7 and 9 years of age. I remember feeling a sense of dread, fear if you will. Hey, I was little. I was just responding as most little boys do at that age when facing the unexpected or those things they fear most. In my case, at that time, needles and not having my mother close by. Anyway, long story short, I'm laying on the gurney in the operating room with the surgical lights above me, but they were not on. I could hear the medical personnel moving about to my left. To my right were some cabinets and windows. At the end of the cabinets, which appeared to be right next to me, was a stool. Sitting on that stool was an individual, a nurse, I think. Not certain if this person was male or female. However, I did notice that he or she was not wearing a surgical mask like the others. This individual had golden blonde hair that was attractively arranged and was dressed in white. He or she appeared to have an illuminating brilliance around him, for lack of a better description, that seemed to envelop this individual. I know what you're thinking. Dude has just stepped off the Menudo truck. Hey, I've heard it all. Just hear me out, okay? At the time I noticed this individual, I was 2 shakes away from blasting off of that gurney. I don't know why I was experiencing so much fear. The anesthesiologist was just about to give me a dose of knockout medicine when he noticed that I was trembling. After attempting to comfort me by letting me know I had nothing to fear and I was in capable hands, sure, just what every 7 to 9-year-old wants to hear to feel comforted, he suggested I turn my head away, which would have positioned me to look to my left, which I did. It was at that moment I saw this person in white sitting on the stool. He or she was looking down on me with the most loving eyes I had ever seen. Didn't say a word, just smiled. I remember no longer feeling afraid though, after seeing this individual. His or her smile was the last thing I saw before waking up in my room with Mother sitting to my right. If you're interested in hearing the whole story regarding this experience, it will soon be available in an audio version on my website under the Baltimore Monday link. Regardless of how you want to package this experience, in other words, I did not see a real person. It was the medication causing me to hallucinate this individual, etc. Like I said, I've heard it all. It's okay. In my heart, I believe the individual I saw that day is, not was, the light of Christ. And because of that light, which I can't even begin to describe the beauty and brilliance of the light surrounding that individual, marked the beginning of my journey to this very moment. Right here, right now. Jesus has illuminated my path and is showing me the way. I have accepted His calling and am moving forward toward fulfilling His mission in my life. I saw the light on. I entered. I felt welcomed. My soul was refreshed, and I believed. My only focus is fulfilling His promise, His gift, His blessing, His love, and sharing that promise, gift, blessing, and love with others. What is God calling you to do, and are you doing it? Don't be afraid. Find the light, and you will find your way. That's it for today's Talking Mexican. Give God all the glory. Share your love, smile, and you know what? A hug! Be kind to one another. Always pray for peace. And God willing, I will talk to you again soon. Adios!